Welcome to EHR Your Way, and this is going to walk you through the implementation process. It may seem like it's a whole lot of work, but actually it's quite simple if we just break this down module by module. So we're going to go through this very systematically, and I'm just going to show you everything that's involved. So first of all, if anyone needs access to this Google Docs spreadsheet, just email support@ehryourway, support@ehryourway.com, and will provide them access. Additionally, any other questions or comments that you may have during the implementation process, which I'm sure there's going to be some, just go ahead and email support and the appropriate account manager will take care of you. If you have to email more than twice for some event to happen, then please make sure you copy either Aparna or myself, Jay, and we will make sure that we step in and provide resolution to whatever issue might be encountered. So the first tab that we have down here on the bottom is called Implementation Timelines. Very self-explanatory. We're going to put the contract time and date up here, and then we're going to go and walk through what it's going to take and our target dates to accomplish the implementation. So configuration obviously is very important that you fill out the information. Without having this populated, we are unable to configure the EHR. So we'll have a start date obviously of today and then an estimated completion date. If you or we need to make any notes, then simply do so in the field here. It takes approximately 10 days or so to get the electronic health record system configured. After we do that, then we're going to do this in sequential order and have the front office staff be trained first. It's going to cover the modules of how to make an appointment, document management, appointment reminders, and tasks that are associated with that particular role. Next, we'll move on to the providers training, the clinicians, and they will also be trained again, and we want to make this as simple as possible for the user experience. So the system will be populated with content, and we're going to show them how to make notes and be able to use the system effectively. For those organizations that are using the billing module, this is going to be the most exhaustive as far as training goes. It's going to be broken down into 3 different sessions, and we'll either work with your biller or with your outsourced billing company, whichever is the situation with your company. The next tab down here, and you simply left click on each of these tabs to open them up, is the company information. Again, very self-explanatory. Just put in as much information as you can and is applicable up here. If you don't have a fax number, for instance, don't worry about it. We'll help you out with getting an electronic fax, because you do want to use a service like MetroFax to have all of your faxes automatically import into the EHR, particularly if you have a high volume. Of course, we need to have your EIN, and again, the notes column is over here, and also down here if you need to fill out any additional information. Now, we do want to know who's the primary contract. That may not be the person that actually is signing the contracts. It may be somebody that you assign in the organization, and then there might be a technical contact if it's a larger company, and then of course the billing contact, because we want to interact with them and get the integration going with the clearinghouse. Now, our client base range from single locations and single users already up to many tens or hundreds of users. So if this does not apply to you, just go ahead and skip over it. Next, you're going to click on the Users tab. And again, we just want the first name, last name, and any designations, if applicable, for the user so that we can get their accounts set up in the EHR. One thing that you'll want to note here is the license number. So again, if you would like to have that displayed in the signature block along with the designations, we'll need to have that. You're going to be emailed a spreadsheet where each of the clinicians is going to sign on a piece of paper. This is then going to be scanned into the EHR, so you can automatically attach the clinician's signature to any of the documents. The next tab is the appointments. We need to know when you start and when your workday ends, which days of the week that you are available. This may vary by location, and this all may also may vary by providers and different staff members. So if we have to get a intricate schedule set up for each particular provider at a given date and different time with some odd sessions, we'll do that on a one-off basis. So don't worry too much about this if you have a very complex appointment schedule. Next thing is the referral sources. Who do you refer business out to, and who refers you clients? So we want to just make sure, again, for reporting purposes, that we can track and reward those organizations that you work with that provide you a list of clients that you're able to help and service. And don't forget to also add in here any referral sources for advertising that you might use. Google, your website, of course, you want to make sure that that is all documented so that we can attach that in the system. The next tab down here is the forms. So these are all of your forms that you're going to be here, whether it is an intake form, a treatment plan, disclosures. You're going to list them all here. And we're going to put the number of pages here because we do charge to create those on a per page basis. If there is multiple disclosures for, say, inside one folder, we'll want to give that a folder name. In the EHR, you're going to see a folder name here on the left-hand side that's going to list everything, and then these might be the documents that are contained within a folder. So just to kind of give you a little bit of visualization on that. All right, so keep it really simple. Again, your forms may be the same as your folder name, so this is not mandatory that you have a folder name. Now, there's going to be many instances where you want to attach a reminder to something, whether it is a intake form must be filled out within some period of time, within 3 days, 30 days. You must have a treatment plan reviewed every 90 days. You decide what the events are. So it's a one-time event. This must be taken within this period of time. It is a recurring event. It happens over again on a repetitive basis. Or a milestone. You may not discharge somebody until some particular paperwork is filled out. Again, keep it really simple. If it gets too complex, just move on, and we'll capture that during the training sessions and one-on-one time with you. Let's move on to the more interesting one here. This might be a little bit complex, so need not worry if we need to have the trainers configure this with you on the spot. Just go ahead and keep that in mind. We'll take care of that. But ultimately, we want to make sure that you're doing as little data entry as possible. So we want to make sure that data is populating from one form to another form, from one section of a form to another section of a form, or multiple forms. Again, anything that you desire as far as reporting and populating of data back and forth, it's all taken care of. So do not worry, just tell us what you want to accomplish and we'll make it happen. Now, the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that this can be very granular in nature. Okay, so it can be just a field or it can be clumps of information. Next thing we're going to move on to is the forms or folders that are available by users. So you can either do the following. You can either list down the roles. So I want to see clinicians only seeing these particular documents. I would like to do it by service, or go ahead and list out any users. Following users see these particular documents, and any that are excluded, we can handle those one off, or you can put those in the last column over here, excluded users. Okay. Next column, users report to. So if you have interns, you might need somebody to sign off on their documents, or an MD needs to sign off on a treatment plan. That goes here, and what happens again is this automatically goes through the workflow process. We're going to take that form, automatically give a notification to the MD or supervisor to sign off on a particular document, and thus making sure that these rules are in place. All right, next tab is the portal. Click on that tab down here, and you're going to find the forms that are available to the clients or your patients. So these are all of the available folders that we have, and again, you may not be doing any labs or prescriptions, so those would not want to be displayed to the clients or patients. So you obviously want to have consent forms up there. We encourage you to put different surveys and other forms up there that might get people engaged in the process, depression screening, these sorts of things where they're coming back and having some interactivity between your staff and themselves. And we want to make sure that you understand as well too, you can take any component of any form, put it up in the portal, and that will auto-populate into the clinician's workflow. So again, there's not going to be any need to worry about what's going where. You just decide what is best for treatment of your clients and we'll make it happen. Okay, just want to make sure that you clearly understand that these arrows here, scroll left and scroll right, just move you through the tabs. So just make sure that you notate that. For those of you who are offering group sessions, we need to know what the group session name is, and we need to know which clinician or clinicians are moderating that group, and obviously the schedule. So what days of the week it is, what time of day, and what is the duration. If you have multiple locations, again, we need to know that. Anything that is outside the ordinary, let us know this. You'll also have the ability to create these on your own, and we'll show you that during the training session, but it's nice to have them configured right up front. For the rare occasion where you do labs or prescriptions, this is also available for you as well too. So a couple things just to remember in conclusion is you want to use the arrows here, scroll left and scroll right to find these ones that are kind of hidden. And again, you're going to start off with the implementation timelines, and it's going to go all the way through labs on the far right hand side here. So just keep clicking on the tab and the next one will populate as you click on the last tab there. So again, it seems like it's a little bit of work. It is, but it's ultimately going to be to your success to make sure that this is implemented properly. We want to create as much of the data and content in the system and build this workflow out prior to implementation so the user's adoption rate really skyrockets, and they are going to love this, folks. So please take time to get this implemented. Let's get you rocking and rolling. We're here to help you help more people, and let's do this together as a team. Finally, if we do our job and help you get this technology implemented, all we ask to do is you tell 5 of your peers that you enjoyed the experience so we can make it EHR their way. We truly do appreciate your business. We never take it for granted, and we look forward to being of service for you for many years to come.